sound.
I know.
I know.
I think it's time for Jennifer to the rescue. I'm Jennifer Johnson. I like that smile. That's good. We just know we don't look like Sharon or Mike Corbett, do we?
No, I don't.
This
That was
Jennifer
last week's host.
Jennifer Johnson here with Jennifer to the rescue, and just so glad that I get to come in every week. Kind of at different times of the week. This is a little different than normal. Thank you to the Wofford Theater and Logan Street Signs and Banners for being our sponsors and welcoming us in to do this show every week, or hopefully every week. And I get to bring wonderful people. See, you're smiling and laughing. It's already going to be fun. This is good. I get to bring in wonderful people that I know, business people that I know, and that's Jennifer to the Rescue is all about. I want to introduce you to my listeners and my viewers to good people that I know that do good business. Nancy Sunshine, and it really is her name. And Nancy, how are you?
I'm fabulous. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I appreciate you working out the time to be here, and we're going to explore who Nancy Sunshine is a
Awesome.
little bit.
I like talking, so that's good.
I think you do. I've known you for a while, but obviously the people that are watching or listening on the radio don't know who is Nancy Sunshine, and you don't have to give us the whole thing about where Sunshine came from, but were you born in Sunshine?
Unfortunately, no, I was
Okay.
not. I was married and divorced, and I told him when I got divorced I was the only reason I married him, so I kept the name.
You know what? I just don't know if I've ever met anybody with the last name of Sunshine. That's just, it's unbelievable.
It's very unusual. Sometimes you might hear people with the first name as Sunshine, but
Well, you definitely bring sunshine in every
you.
time. That's why I tell you that all the time. You're welcome. But you know, Nancy, I won't say sunshine again too many more times, I
Okay.
promise. But Nancy, who is Nancy Sunshine, though? I mean, who's your native?
I was born in Mishawaka, Indiana, yes. Went to high school there, grew up. But then when I went to college, I went to Ball State. So I went to in Muncie. I moved, then after graduation, I moved to Southern California.
Oh, and you
Something
came back?
different. I know, really.
You came back.
Something
Wow.
totally different. I'm a very adventurous person, so I just wanted to get out of Indiana and go to Southern California. I had friends that lived there. So I was there for about 10 years, and I was married, had a son, and I wanted him to be closer to my family. Not too close, but close enough that I could drive.
Sure.
So I had a job, and they transferred me to Indianapolis. So it was a great job. So I had a job when I got here. I lived 2.5 hours from South Bend, Mishawaka. So my son, we could go visit his aunts and uncles and his grandma. So it all worked out really, really well.
It did.
We've
It
been
did.
here for a while.
And your son is now how old?
Oh,
we
my
talked
gosh.
about this on break.
He's 28 years old. Well, actually, December 7th, he'll be 28.
So you were like, what, 10 years old when
I
you
was.
That's pretty
Very
amazing.
young.
That's pretty weird. Okay. So he's 28, and he's now where? He's right near us.
Yes, he went to IU and graduated, and he was in a fraternity, and it was a great thing for him because once he got out of college, then the fraternity, they all are, great friends. So he moved up to Chicago and got a job with a bunch of his fraternity friends and lived in the area with all his fraternity friends. And then back in August, he moved back to Indianapolis. He lives in Broad Ripple.
I was going to say, he's calling to tell you that
Yes.
he's watching you on the television. So you removed yourself from Indiana for a little while, and then you came back, and what a great job that was. Obviously, it was in sales, because you've been in sales for a long
I
time,
have
haven't
been in
you?
sales for a long time.
Now, do you have a degree of some sort in sales or education? I have an education degree, and I've done sales.
No, my degree was in management information systems. So when I first got out of college, I did computer programming, which was totally
You told
different.
me about that.
Yeah.
We met, actually, Nancy and I met in a networking group, which I say it's been a while ago. She says it's only been 6 months, but I swear it's been longer than 6 months. I guess it's just, once you walked in, I
flies
forgot.
when you're having
Yeah, time, exactly. But so you have done a variety of things.
Most of my sales career, I have done copier sales. And my focus was education and government. And back in 2009, 2010, when the governor cut the school budgets by like $4 million, I thought this is time for me to change, make a change. Then I had another job for a couple of years, and part of the networking group that I belong to, the president is an amazing woman, and she connected me with another rainmaker. And
no name dropping here.
I didn't mean to.
That's okay. That's all right. No, it's fine.
And I got a new job, so this is a new adventure for me, which is an amazing.
Well, you kind of put it in a little nutshell, but I know that when we first met, we sat and talked. You've had a lot of jobs, a lot of sales positions that you've been very successful.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're very good. So I guess what I want to maybe lead into the next segment is to say that, you know, economy and just the downsizing and different things. We've all had to be a number. You know, you change, you go to where the job is. But you've been very successful, and you are now working for
WorldPay. And I absolutely love the company, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that
when
later.
we come back, we're going to talk about why. But there was I guess what I see, and you don't see this because you're inside Nancy Sunshine, but you have options. I mean, and you chose WorldPay for a reason.
Absolutely.
And you have been, like I said, you've been very successful wherever you've gone. So there's something about WorldPay that brought you to them, and we will talk about that. But tell us, if somebody's just trying to get a hold of you, on the screen it does say Nancy Sunshine WorldPay Inc., but the email is what?
Nancy.sunshine@worldpay.us.
And so they could email you that, and then your phone number?
317-213-1514.
So you also have a Facebook presence too.
I do. I belong to a lot of different groups. We'll talk about this later too. I'm really focused in on supporting locally owned businesses. So I really do a lot of social media to support people, tweet when I'm there and say how awesome the restaurant is, or the location that I'm at. Last week was the first time I had been here at Wofford Theater, and it was amazing.
Yes,
I said a hidden gem.
Yes, a hidden gem, yes. So when we come back, we're going to talk more about why you chose WorldPay. Sure. And we just thank our sponsors, Logan Street Signs and Banners. And if you've never been in the wonderful Wofford Beautiful Theater, you need to do that. It's wonderful. I'm Jennifer to the rescue. Don't leave, because we've got a lot more information coming from Nancy Sunshine with WorldPay. Be right back.
You know, when Margaret and I decided to sell the old estate here, we had only one choice in signage: Logan Street Signs and Banners. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore, but rather located on 10th Street on the south side of Noblesville. Well, we sold the old beauty, and we were able to buy this wonderful estate. And we had so much money left over, I was able to buy this beautiful 1968 Eldorado Cadillac for Margaret. Only 472,000 miles. Margaret loves it because it's got those big seats and that heavy-duty suspension to support her svelte frame. Next time you're looking for signs or banners, call old Jim at Logan Street Signs and Banners, 773-7200. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore.
Everyone knows it's easy to find first-run movies in the big theaters. But where can you go to watch your favorite classic movies on the big screen for the perfect night out? Why rent a flick when you can rent the entire theater? Call today to reserve our 32-seat theater for your next event, or just stop by to see what's showing this weekend. The 14 by 7 foot screen and the high quality digital surround sound system offers all the amenities you would expect from the big theaters, with a laid back atmosphere and comfortable seating of your own home. Wofford Theater at 1744 South 10th Street in Noblesville gives you the classic movies you want with a big theater experience.
You
welcome back to Jennifer to the Rescue. And this is actually Nancy Sunshine. My name was under her, but she's beautiful in green and her beautiful red hair. So, he'd rather put you on the screen.
Exactly.
But thank you very much, Jennifer Johnson. And this is Jennifer to the Rescue. And thank you to our wonderful sponsors, Logan Street Signs and Banners. And the Wofford Theater is, you have to come in, check it out. Great time to rent it for holiday gatherings, family things, whatever. But Nancy, we were talking about, you are here because I met you a while back. We just want to, get the people that are listening, our viewers, our listeners on the radio, to know a little bit more about you. You've been in sales. You grew up in Indiana. You moved away for a short time, but you've your roots are here, and you've had a lot of, I know when you were sharing about what businesses, I know you've done a lot of things and been very successful. And now you've made a choice to represent WorldPay. And tell me again, it sounds so funny. Even when you said you were starting to work for them, I'm thinking, so what does a credit card process? What all do you do? So can you, and then talk about why you chose WorldPay.
Okay. WorldPay is an electronic payment processing company. We're the third largest in the world. So it's just not electronic payment processing. There's so much more to WorldPay. I am going to go back and tell you why I chose WorldPay. There are two main things that resonated with me as far as who I am, and it was exactly the mantra of WorldPay, and it's giving back. One of the things that they do, I did get all my business from referrals, which is amazing. But for everyone that refers someone to me and they become a client, the company gives back to that person that referred $300. So again, I feel like that's giving back. We're rewarding people for helping.
So you're kind of partnering with the business partner, or it's a strategic, whatever. It's just somebody.
But it could be an individual. It could be you. Anybody can give me a referral, and if that customer becomes a customer of mine, then they get $300. So it makes my job a lot easier instead of having to go out in this cold weather and knocking on doors. I don't want to do that. And the other thing was a program what we call Extra Credit, which is huge for me. Because I do a lot of volunteer work. I give back to the communities. I'm all about local, supporting local businesses, helping as much as I possibly can. So our program, when you become a customer of ours, we take up to 20% of the profits. So it doesn't come out of the customer's pocket, it doesn't come out of my pocket. The company, WorldPay, gives back to a non-for-profit of the company's choice, so of the merchant's choice, our customer. So say, for example, if it was some Dress for Success, for example, we would give up to 20% every month to that company's favorite charity. So those two things were really, really important to me. It was a good fit. The company itself is all about supporting your employees. I just felt, it just felt right. Just from everything I learned about the company, the research I did, the people I interviewed with, my boss is amazing. We really connected on a level that it just made me, this is what I have to do. So again, it's all about giving back.
And how rare it is that you find something that makes you feel that, and when you do, you don't go and you don't run past it and go somewhere else, right?
And so I heard something, I think, I don't remember, the last couple of days. It doesn't matter, of course we all live, we have bills to pay and we want to make a lot of money, but it's all about too, I keep going back to giving back. So maybe, we are in a situation, but it's like, I'm here for the long haul. This is my choice. I give 110% because I believe in the company. I believe in what I'm doing. I enjoy what I'm doing so much because I meet so many people. And I love just connecting and giving referrals and helping other people grow their business and make more money.
And obviously that's, okay, so I'm thinking, tell us, just clarify one more time. Because I'm thinking, how do we know who a good referral is for you?
Great question.
I know, but I wrote it down. I'm just joking. How do I know that it's a good referral?
Well, there's two different types of people who can refer people to me.
Okay.
One can be you, for example. You don't use credit card processing
No.
for your business or whatever, but you know so many people. So you can give me people that you know, you can refer them. A merchant, a company, a restaurant, any retail store, locally owned company that uses credit card processing. So you can give me referrals, and if they become a customer, you get $300.
Right.
You don't use the service yourself. I have lots of friends that give me referrals. Just they know other people. And then the
Right.
other type of referral I would want is a merchant, a customer of mine who knows other business owners and can actually say, I use the service, this is awesome, Nancy's fabulous, you need to talk to her. So those are the two types of referrals I like to get, and those would be really good fits. Now, to say that I can help anybody that does credit card processing, that's true, but I really try to focus it every quarter to try to say when I talk to someone, I'm focusing on HVAC companies. So when you think of that, oh yeah, okay, I know these people. But when I say anybody who does credit card, people kind of get overwhelmed. So I try to guide
Right.
people and tell them, here's who I'm looking for.
Right. And if you're specific, then that HVAC person might, what does HVAC stand for? Heating, vent, something else,
Air
right?
conditioning.
But okay, but if you do, and we were both part of that Rainmaker, that other group. But the thing is, if you are focused, you have that focus, that niche thing. Those other pieces of business, those other people that are doing business with those people, potentially, or yeah. So, but I know we've both been in sales. We know that it doesn't happen overnight.
It absolutely
and
doesn't.
For you to you have to be in it for the long haul, and
Yes.
you've already said that a zillion times.
Yes.
I know, but you know, we're not, but we're old, but we're older, and we both we've both been through. You know, you got to give it time. The reason I'm saying it is like you're not saying necessarily to people listening or the people watching that, you know, maybe you think you don't know some, or maybe you don't think you know anybody, but you know, you just like to meet people to
I
start.
meet people one-on-one and just have a conversation.
Right.
That's all you can do at any time is just learn about that person. What do they do? And if it is not a good fit, it's not a good fit. It's not the
And
end of the world.
what you do, I've heard you say, is you sit down and you look over what they're paying, and you see if you can do better
of course,
their
bottom
situation.
line, everybody looks at price.
Exactly.
Right? But there's so many other things that WorldPay offers. Like I said, the referral program, the extra credit, giving back to the non-for-profits. There's a lot of security breaches that you hear about all the time.
Right,
Our
right.
technology is like, that's one of the focuses that we have. So we have programs in place that prevent things like that.
Good.
So it's just educating people as well. When I meet with people, I try to educate, learn about their business. How can I help them make more money? So again, ultimately, bottom line price is important, but you know, there's so many other things that we offer. So I ask people, what is your current credit card processor offering you? Are they giving you money when you give me referrals? Are they donating to your favorite non-for-profit? So again, it's all about me giving back locally and supporting people and making more money, helping them make more money.
Oh, that is, in a nutshell, that's exactly what I wanted to do. How do they get a hold of you again? And we're going to come back for one last segment
Okay.
because we do. I just want to make sure they can contact you. But
Sure. Nancy.sunshine@worldpay.us, and my phone is 317-213-1514.
And Facebook. Do you know what your Facebook? Is it a personal Facebook?
It's a personal Facebook
Okay,
page.
so they just look up Nancy Sunshine.
Absolutely.
How many Nancy Sunshines? I've never
Actually,
met
there
any.
are a few, but
Are
not
there
many.
really? They must be wannabes. You're the real. I just think the name Nancy Sunshine, every time I say it.
Well, I have to use that to every advantage I can. So I do put out a quarterly email newsletter kind of thing, and it's called Rays of Sunshine.
Oh.
So it's just industry
Awesome.
information. It's not specifically about WorldPay, but we talk about all kinds of different things. So I have to use that to my advantage.
Well, it's
Yeah, that'd
definitely.
be crazy if I didn't.
Yeah, I mean, It's definitely to your advantage. We are going to come back in just a few minutes. I know there was maybe one or two things just to make sure that if somebody wants to find WorldPay, they could actually just go to worldpay.us
.us.
and find out more about the company.
Absolutely.
Not just taking it from your word, but then
Right.
follow up with you.
Exactly.
So, okay, we'll come right back here in just a minute. And Jennifer to the rescue. Don't leave. Be right back.
You know, when Margaret and I decided to sell the old estate here, we had only one choice in signage. Logan Street signs and banners. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore, but rather located on 10th Street on the south side of Noblesville. Well, we sold the old beauty, and we were able to buy this wonderful estate. And we had so much money left over, I was able to buy this beautiful 1968 Eldorado Cadillac for Margaret. Only 472,000 miles. Margaret loves it because it's got those big seats and that heavy-duty suspension to support her svelte frame. Next time you're looking for signs or banners, call old Jim at Logan Street Signs and Banners, 773-7200. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore.
Everyone knows it's easy to find first-run movies in the big theaters. But where can you go to watch your favorite classic movies on the big screen for the perfect night out? Why rent a flick when you can rent the entire theater? Call today to reserve our 32-seat theater for your next event, or just stop by to see what's showing this weekend. The 14 by 7 foot screen and the high quality digital surround sound system offers all the amenities you would expect from the big theaters, with a laid back atmosphere and comfortable seating of your own home. Wofford Theater at 1744 South 10th Street in Noblesville gives you the classic movies you want with a big theater experience.
Welcome back. One more little visit here with Nancy Sunshine before we all take a break next week for Thanksgiving holiday. And are you getting to do something fun?
Actually, this will be the first time in many years that my son and I have been able to spend Thanksgiving together.
That's right.
And we're going to Mishawaka to be with some
Well,
family.
isn't that nice? I mean, that's great. And it's not the Sunshine family.
No.
Is it the other family?
This is my
I know.
my family.
Just thought I would check that out. Jennifer to the rescue. Jennifer Johnson. We are here at the Wofford Theater, which we are so very thankful to get the space on Logan Street.
Yeah.
Signs and Banners has graciously offered us this every week to come in, and I get to Jennifer to the rescue. I get to bring great people like Nancy in to share what they do, and hopefully if you're listening or watching, you're hearing something and you want to get in touch with Nancy. But first of all, just remember Jennifer to the rescue, spelled out, jennifertotherescue.com is my website. And if you go on there and you need to get a hold of Nancy and you can't figure out how to do it, just
That'd
say,
be
hey,
hard.
Nancy Sunshine. And I don't know where those two extra numbers came from, but that's okay. My number is actually Jennifer. Oh, no, it's not. It's 317-513-6823. Forget that 49 on the end. So don't do that, though.
It'll still work.
It'll still work, I think, because, yeah, that's
It only
right.
takes 7 numbers.
I'm not very technically inclined. That's why I don't do that kind of stuff. But Nancy, how do they get a hold of you again? I'm going to, oops.
Nancy
Over.
.sunshine@worldpay.us, and my phone is 317-213-1514.
And you work with WorldPay. We've been talking about that's a credit card processing company with all kinds of, I mean, I know when I say to somebody, well, Nancy works with WorldPay. Oh, do you know how many? And I'm sorry, I'm just saying that
you're
because
absolutely,
I'm sure
it's
you're
the truth.
facing it out there
Absolutely.
yourself. But there's so many reasons, and you've been detailing them that they
Right.
have this. They're the third largest, right?
Third largest, and we are a direct processor.
What's the difference?
Okay, good question.
Yeah.
The difference is we have a merchant and you have a processor, WorldPay, and then you have your bank. So it goes directly. Sometimes there's another, maybe what we call an ISO, that could be someone that says, hey, you know what, I want to do this. They still have to go through a direct processor. So they're kind of like the middleman.
So, okay, I'm going to ask a numbers question. Does that mean there's a savings going? Or not savings, but is it, maybe it's a savings, but is it also just a more secure, not having that third party, or does that make any difference?
When you're working with a direct processor, then we take everything very seriously. I'm not saying that the other companies
Right,
don't
I know
do
what you
that,
mean, though.
but we don't have a middleman in between. So you would have a merchant, an individual sales organization, a processor, Visa, MasterCard, whatever, and then the banks. So we just take out that extra layer. And we are a large company. We're worldwide. Some of the individual sales organizations are maybe a small locally owned business, which is awesome that people can do that. But we take more, we deal with a lot of people all over the world. So this is what we do. We're experts at it.
Right, and well, obviously, and like we said at the beginning, that you really do have your choice. I mean, people are always looking for sales professionals. And you chose to work for WorldPay, and I know that they give the extra credit.
It's an extra credit, what we call an
Right.
extra credit program, where the merchant can give back up to 20% of their profits. It comes out of WorldPay's pocket to their favorite non-for-profit or charity organization. So a lot of locally owned businesses are really wanting to give back to the community. And so we
yes.
support that, and that's what I love about the company, because I do a lot of volunteer work myself. So that kind of was like a good fit.
Yeah, it's definitely been something you've been saying you like to
Yes.
do work with. And you know what, I'm thinking, because it is such a big company, they can do all these neat little the extra credit, and
Right.
whereas, and not to say anything negative about
Right.
any of the ones that are maybe a little smaller, but that kind of, in that case, it kind of like, well, that's kind of cool that they can actually do that. And
Right.
I know that's probably why you went with them. But you were talking about monthly. There's an online webinar.
The company, WorldPay.us, has a webinar, and I usually shoot it out to a lot of the people I deal with myself. But it's an online webinar, and it talks about the industry. Last month we had one on Apple Pay and mobile wallets. So if anybody can join, it's free. You can join the webinar, and it just gives a lot of really good information and really educating people about the credit card industry, the breaches that are happening, how we can prevent those.
Right.
Next year, a program called EMV. Everyone's going to have to be able to have the credit cards with the chip in them instead of the mag strip. So we educate people about things like that as well, so they can be prepared.
Definitely, we know in this world, education. I think the
Absolutely.
people that survive in the sales world are the ones who are all about educating and not just selling. Right?
And that's never been I've never been just all about me. It's all about the other person. What can I do to make them more efficient, make them more money? And that makes me feel good.
And I would say, not that she's shared, specific anything other than when you can't help somebody, you don't try to sell them something.
Absolutely.
I mean,
No, if it's
of
not a
course,
good fit.
We'd all say that, but I know,
No, I
but I
know.
believe that is part of what you've always done, no matter what you've sold.
There's been many times
selling.
where I'm just like, you know what, this is not going to be a good fit. You're doing great. Everything's perfect. You're happy. I'm not going to change that.
But it's probably worth taking the time to get to sit down with Nancy
Absolutely.
Sunshine, learn about WorldPay, find out about the online webinar, now tell us again how we reach you, and then I'm going to end up with our upbeat.
Okay, great. Nancy.sunshine@worldpay.us, and my phone number is 317-213-1514.
Awesome.
And just to have a conversation.
And I think that's what it's all about. I've been doing a lot of these. I'm Jennifer Johnson, and I'm Jennifer to the Rescue, jennifertotherescue.com, and I'm a lyrical appreciation expert. What does that mean? Well, I'm not going to go into all the details, but I tend to think that I want to leave you with, I'm a musician. I mean, if that didn't come out, that's part of what I do.
Yes.
Lyrical appreciation expert. And I always try to leave with something that makes you feel happy. Sunshine, obviously makes me feel happy, but this is also one I thought that worked. This is Maya Angelou, and it is, if one has courage, nothing can dim the light light which shines from within. And I
Very
thought,
true.
what a good one for Nancy Sunshine. So
Right.
thank you for coming this week, Nancy. We've been trying to get you on the show for a while.
I know,
so
I know.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I
You're
really
welcome.
enjoyed it.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Have a wonderful holiday. We'll see
too.
you all. We'll see you all. We'll hear you all, see you all, whatever, in a couple of weeks. Jennifer to the rescue. Thank you so much. Have a great one.